as you know, you have a summit on Thursday, and that means, for better or worse, Brexit. The Speaker of the UK...
Brexit ist unabhängig vom Summit, aber...
Brexit is independent of the summit, but...
But there is... Mrs May, I think, will come in whatever manner she does. But the Speaker in the House of Commons, as you know, has told her that she cannot come back with the same deal again. And so that naturally raises the question, are you prepared to give her a new deal at the summit?
Naja, ich würde mal erstmal sagen...
Well, I would say first, I admit that I am not familiar with the statutes of the House of Commons dating back to the 17th century, I believe. I was not familiar with those terms, so I took note of that with interest yesterday. And now we shall see what Theresa May will tell us, what wishes are, and we shall try to react to this. But it's not as if this had been an agreement that we had negotiated alone, but the British government was for it, and it was again under negotiations these past few days, and the wish was to have something that was legally binding with a view to the backstop. So we will very carefully follow events, follow what the British government is going to say. With regard to what is stated yesterday, I cannot, I must say anything on how the situation will present itself on Thursday.
Come and ask you for an extension. Do you have any prejudice on your side? Would you like to have a short extension so that it doesn't affect the European elections? Or would you like to give them a year to sort out the problem?
Ich glaube, wir haben die, oder ich sag mal, was
allow me, I mean, what I absolutely want to do. I am very, very interested in having a very good relationship with Britain, even after they have left the European Union. It's in the German interest, and it's certainly in the interest of the 27 member states as a whole. I take Theresa May very seriously when she says that Britain stays in Europe, it will simply leave the European Union. So we have common interests because of our geopolitical situation. And Britain has always been a country that has felt very much committed to the principle of multilateralism. We have a very close cooperation in security, also internal security on defense, but also internal security, terrorism, and so on. So that is why we made provisions for the citizens to have as clear a legal situation as possible, even in the event of no deal. That will only invariably be the second best solution, but we're working on this. Until the very last hour of the 29th of March, I will fight for an orderly Brexit, an orderly leaving of Britain of the European Union. We don't have that much time left to us, but a few days. And I must say that I'm not in a position to speculate what I will do on Thursday, because it depends on what Theresa May will tell us, what the situation is in the Parliament by that time, and we will adequately and together as 27 react to this. And the less each and everyone is speculating in public, the easier it is.
Last thing on that, I know you talked to Theresa May because she is the government of Britain, and I know that you don't like interfering in the sovereignty of other countries. But this is very obviously being decided by Parliament rather than by a government. And if you had Boris Johnson, Jacob Rees-Mogg and the Brexiteers standing in front of you, what would you say to them?
Selbe wie zu Theresa May.
The same that I say to Theresa May. I mean, I'm not talking with different tongues, as it were, or different voices to different people. I say very clearly what my interests are, what I think is right, and then I wait for the answer of the others. We respect the Parliament here in Germany. The Federal Chancellery, as you know, from an architectural point of view, is aligned in such a way that I look directly onto the Parliament and also from my cabinet office. So we know who has has the political power, and without parliamentary votes and parliamentary majorities, no political decisions are possible. We've learned a little bit more about the procedures and about the statutes of the House of Commons. Here it would not be possible, for example, for a parliament not setting its own agenda. The government will also be in some way deciding that, but it's interesting. We have every respect, no matter who is standing in front of me from Britain, to work for our common interests.